including that team that won the national championship a couple of years ago. Lamar Simpson, Gregory Nixon, Chad Barlow, our officiating crew, were underway with one spot up for grabs here in the East region between Montana State and Kansas State. Bobcats control the tip. Bello, the Brit on a kick for another Brit. Fuller misses on a three-ball. Rebound tracked down. And a foul was called on the rebound action. Assoboir, who happens to be another Brit.
There you go.
Three of them on the floor right now for Montana State.
And Carter giving him a little bit of a bump on the way out, going after that ball.
It is Cam Carter, the sophomore, picking up the foul for Kansas State. Go up top. Great Assoboir, one of the best names in college basketball. Outside for Battle. Played at Washington, transferred here to Montana State, and has found a home. Battle hangs, missed it, front rim.
A little bit of a force by Battle early on, just then against two defenders.
They get into it quickly here. Desi Sills, the senior, has moved back into the starting lineup. Transferred from Arkansas State. Before that, he was at Arkansas. And a minute gone by in this first half. Second highest seed Kansas State has ever had. Three. Slip to the rim. Contact. It's an offensive foul against Jabril Bello.
Yeah, try to catch the basketball in traffic just then and extends the arm.
Montana State out of Bozeman, Montana, the Big Sky Tournament champions. Notable alumni: Dennis Erickson, Joe Tiller, and our buddy.
Here you go.
Craig Kilborn, former guard. Look at that. My goodness, is that Billy Zabka from Karate Kid? No, it's Kilborn.
It's too late for your act tonight. There's a moving screen out front. I believe it was Tomlin.
Look at Kreggers in the defensive position. I know he is very nervous for this matchup. Not this one on the screen, but the one that's actually happening on the court.
He's looking right at the offensive player's eyes, too. That means the guy's going by him.
Wait, you're breaking down a play from many years ago, Jimmy.
Just the picture, you can break it down.
David Gasson checks in. Floater doesn't go for Darius Brown II. The transfer from Cal State Northridge. Still looking for our first points. Dribble drive, floater from Carter, no. But the follow is good, and it's Gasson, who transferred from Virginia Tech, putting Kansas State on the board. 18:22 mark of this first half.
And right off the bat, we've seen pretty good pace for both teams, pushing it up the floor, trying to get some quick hitters.
Montana State in the NCAA tournament, back-to-back years for the first time in program history. They have never won an NCAA tournament game. They lost in the first round to Texas Tech, 97-62 last year.
Another errant pass just then in their half-court sets.
Noel too high for Gasson. Both of these teams are just trying to settle in here. Kansas State thought that ball was tipped. Watch live men's games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Scan the QR code right now to download. Kansas State in front, 2-0. Battle, the jumper, Jumanji. It's a 2.
He's got that shooter's body, doesn't he? Just really athletic, gets off the floor in a hurry.
This is going to be fun to watch. Marquise Noel, one of the premier point guards in the country, at 5'8", 160 pounds. Johnson turns the corner and lays it in. He is a really confident player.
And when Noel has the ball, he's going to be guarded by Brown at their end of the floor. That matchup at the point guard, it's not the same way both ends of the floor.
They tried to deny it to Bello. Here's Battle probing. The flip is no good, and the rebound is controlled by Gasson. Noel directing traffic. Johnson, swing. Sills, isolation. Step back, Jay. Off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Brown. 4-2 lead for the Wildcats. Back out for Darius Brown out of Pasadena, California. They were looking for the post up on the interior to Fuller. Instead, they go cross court for Assoboir. The back in on Johnson. Shot clock down to 5. Nice spin, but he couldn't finish it.
going to say he lost his balance. Just that nice strip from behind. Can they save it?
Laying out is Bello.
Great effort.
And Asaboir was the one who jarred it loose. Keontae Johnson didn't see him.
And here's that effort.
He ended up on top of the basketball as he rolled out of bounds, and now Bello will head to the sidelines. Mixing and matching here. Tyler Patterson is in for Montana State. And Naquan Tomlin returns for Kansas State. Work it to the corner. Noel with a triple. Marquise Noel averaging just under 17 points per game. Scrappy, creative guard. Gives Kansas State a 7-2 lead.
As you mentioned, Patterson in the game. He's a three-point shooter.
On a dump down. Battle rises up and banks it home.
I love his patience when he gets the basketball.
He's very smooth.
Yeah, just generally under control. Little force on one of his shots early on. Nice hands again.
Noel tried to bounce it to Gasson. Break opportunity. Noel tracks it down. So the turnover by the Bobcats. 7-4 advantage for Kansas State. Brown digs in defensively on Noel. Work it to the other side. Carter. Naquan Tomlin, interesting prospect.
Yeah, can handle it too.
Oh, Tomlin missed it. It was wide open for him, and he tried the finger roll.
He's coming back smiling. I think he just didn't plant to get off that 1 foot.
Crossover, Brown into the teeth of the defense for the Dukes.
Nice little pace we have going early on right now.
7-6 lead for Kansas State.
Yeah, both teams looking to get easier buckets, so they don't have to force the action in the half court.
Wildcats' last appearance in the NCAA tournament, 2019. They lost to UC Irvine as a 4 seed, 70-64. Bullet feed. It bounces off of Gasson, but he retrieves it.
They were a second late on that pass.
One-on-one, Gasson, it's blocked. Asaboir with a British block.
A great block.
Asaboir lays it in. Does it on one end and then delivers on the other.
How about the way he ran straight down the middle of the floor, constantly looking for an opportunity to finish one off.
He is big and strong, a low down low at 6'8", 245. Montana State has its first lead. Johnson, the jumper, in and out. He put it over Patterson. Brown gets instructions from 46-year-old Danny Sprinkle, the head coach of the Bobcats. Fuller swing. Brown inside, battle off the side of the backboard.
Yeah, looks like a tip defensively just then. Double teaming battle whenever they can.
Noel the handles. Carter, they leave him open. And he cans it for three. Cam Carter, the transfer from Mississippi State.
How long can we go without a whistle?
Well, now that you said it.
That'll blow. It would be a call right now. I know that. But
Battle, the jumper is good, and a foul. Raekwon Battle with a hand in his face and a chance for 4. He's got great mechanics on that jump shot.
And Tomlin just leaves his feet and goes after it, trying to pick him up and buries him on the floor.
And Bill, that got dicey for the Hurricanes. They win it 63-56. Await the winner of Indiana, Kent State. That's coming up on TBS. Raekwon Battle, the junior. Tulalip, Washington. Battle is the only Native American in this year's NCAA tournament field. And it gives Montana State a 2-point lead.
Nice look.
Noel
to catch it and finish it.
Bullet feed, and it goes down for Igiola. A grad transfer from Hofstra. He was at Arkansas. He was at Stetson before that, so a lot of stops along the way. Abayami Igiola, tied at 12. Robert Ford III is in, the backup point guard for this Montana State squad. Cross court,
Shooter.
Patterson misses on a 3-ball and dances on top of the backboard, out of bounds. Best Coke ever? Only one way to find out. Take a taste. 12 apiece, 12:59 remaining. First half. Kansas State a 9-win improvement over last season. They were 14-17. Jerome Tang has done wonders with this program with a bunch of new faces. Ishmael Massoud is in. Massoud, the junior from East Harlem, New York. Fade away. That's smooth from Keontae Johnson.
Yeah, he missed one on the right side that was very similar in shot selection, and I thought that he was going to put one down on the right side, but that's a smooth-looking jumper. Against the 1-3-1 zone, too.
Ford gets it inside. Bello outside. The jumper from Patterson is true.
Nice little fill just then by Patterson, too. Opposite ball cut, wide open in the middle of the lane.
First two of the night for Tyler Patterson. We're tied at 14. Johnson picked up by Fuller. Here's Noel. Hard drive, flips it up. Oh, doesn't get the roll. Fighting for the loose ball. Somehow Noel gets in there. Kick. Massoud. Too strong and over the backboard on a three. Get a timeout. 11:53 mark of this first half. It's the Stars for Kansas State so far.
And they're very unselfish, this team. They average
special. He said, when we put the roster together, we just saw all the pieces. We thought we could be a tournament team, and obviously these guys have proven him correct. Great chemistry, incredible cohesion. The additions to this squad, they've meshed in perfectly.
And in a pretty tough conference this year in the Big 12.
Ball fake from Battle. 11.5 to play in this first half. Shot clock is down to 5. Battle's a shot creator.
Yep, he sure is.
Battle, pull-up jump, short. Rebounded by Massoud for Kansas State. We're tied at 14. Sills whips it. And now Gasson will wait for his teammates to get settled. Noel moving without the ball. Gasson looking for him. Now a screen set. Gasson forced to kick it out for Noel. Shot clock at 10. Johnson will go to work.
Yeah, pretty well defended so far. Here's that fall away, though.
Step back Jay, bottom. Keontae Johnson from the outside.
The thing about him, too, Ian, is he's 6'6", 230, and you could see the strength in that shot just then in terms of his upper body falling away, which is more difficult, and he uses the upper body to get there right to the basket.
Kansas State up by 2.
5-second count.
Fuller couldn't find an open man. 5-second call, turnover against Montana State.
Watch where he ends up shooting the basketball here. And it's upper body strength that gets that shot off not only in a hurry, but gets good lift with the basketball.
Tournament summary. Fairleigh Dickinson pulls off a stunner. 5 years after UMBC, a 16 seed, beat Virginia. They do it here in 2023. 7 of the 12 games today decided by 10 points or less. Out of bounds, Montana State will get it back. Change here with Sam Lecolot, the freshman from Sheridan, Wyoming, checking in for the first time. Extended time here for Ford. Brown remains on the bench for the Bobcats, who trail by 2. Patterson, swing. Assoboir.
Nice look, nice cut.
Battle, ball fake, spin, ducks inside for the deuce.
He's got it all.
Full arsenal.
Oh, he really does. He understands not only the finishing, but how he gets to the spot to catch it.
Swing it. Gasson, blocking foul and a chance for 3. It was Battle there defensively, and he's going to pick up the personal.
Yeah, it's a good effort by Battle to get across the lane, but I just don't think he gets there in time. And he kind of rolls that left shoulder at the offensive player. But watch how he ends up getting into the middle of the floor. Number one, that's a good recognition on his part to find a spot where his teammate can see him. And then he goes to work to finish it off. Very, very talented.
First foul on Raekwon Battle. Gasson shoots it at just 47% of the free throw line. Athletic big. You can see a lob target. Brings size and intensity. Kansas State up by 2. Ford gets to the rim. D9. Keontae Johnson with the rejection. High screen Gasson. Noel will use it. Stop and go. Noel, that pass gets deflected and taken away by Ford. And Ford has it ripped out of his hands. The layup goes. Desi Sills, the defensive play, and the setup for Noel.
A lot of action just then on that one possession, but there were no fouls to my eye. And the kick ball in the middle.
Robert Ford III thought he had this.
And then all of a sudden gets loose again, and Sills from nowhere. How about this? It's just way too easy when they ended up getting that basketball for a 1-on-0.
20-16, Kansas State. Already 4 steals for this Wildcat squad. They've been great defending the 3 this season. They're 6th in the country in that category, limiting teams to 30% from long range. So far, Montana State is 1 out of 3. Darius Brown II is back in. Here is Asabwar. Wow, his fouls. Follow Highlight Her for everything you need to see her do in sports and culture. Scan the QR code now and don't miss another moment. Personal foul is called on Keontae Johnson, his first. Change here as Naquan Tomlin will check in. And they're going to get Johnson a rest at the 9:03 mark.
Yeah, I like that substitution. You pick up a foul, you got a minute or so until the media timeout. Give him a little extra break. Don't take a chance of him getting a second one. Uh-oh.
Get it in. Woohoo! Asabwar. Major finish. Great Asabwar out of Bradford, England. Lived in Spain until he was 12 and then moved from there. And this British invasion has been immense for Montana State. Their assistant coach, Chris Haslam, who's from England, has been the recruiter.
They're all contributors, too, for the most part.
Lecolot brings toughness. He got down on the floor. And we get a tie-up, possession arrow to Kansas State. They'll retain it.
When you have a breakdown, you look at this and you steal the ball, but to try to go for this steal. But Gasson just not available quick enough to get that opportunity.
So Bello, Asabwar, and Fuller, all from Great Britain, all major contributors this season for Montana State.
Get about 30 points or thereabouts from the 3 of them.
Johnson back in. Shot clock is down to 2. Noel has to hoist it. Oh, got it! Marquise Noel with a downtown hit.
Boy, was that shot ever in the air for a long time.
23-18. What a bailout. 8 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Battle answers. A triple. Raekwon Battle, the junior. 13 of the team's 21 points. Wide open, in and out, Gasson. Rebounded, knocked over to Brown. We are under 8 minutes to go in this first half. Kansas State up by 2 in the 3-14 matchup in the East region. Slipping down, losing a sneaker in the process. Lecolot up the floor. Johnson takes it in. Two-handed throwdown.
And a pretty good move just then by Battle, too, at the end of that play, not fouling on the break. Johnson gets down the floor in a hurry on that transition.
Sam Lecolot lost the ball and lost his shoe. Backdoor. Battle couldn't catch it, and it's out of bounds. We'll get a timeout. 7 turnovers for Montana State.
Well, you leave a shoe and you leave the ball at the same time.
Not a whole lot of flow there.
No, it's flow down this end, though.
Big time. At Montana State, Big Sky Coach of the Year back in 2022. Last season, played at Montana State. Graduated class of 1999.
And he's right about the turnovers, and they have 7 already, and they average 12, so uncharacteristically getting that number high.
Johnson to the rim. Keontae. They're getting the full bottle. Both teams are shooting it well. Johnson's got 10 points. Montana State's at 50% from the field, and now Kansas State is just under 55%. Brown swing it inside for Fuller. Bank shot, no. Tip in, yes.
Good stay there, and a nice little cut early by Fuller on that one, taking a swipe at it to tip it in. And one of the things that Montana State does so well, Ian, too, statistically, they get to the free throw line a lot. Kansas State fouls a lot.
Straight line drive doesn't go for Sills, but a foul.
Here's that isolation again up to the left side this trip, and then he just finishes it off. He throws a lot of varieties at you if you try to guard him. We've seen him with the pull-up baseline shot from 10 feet away, the long shot, the drives to the basket. And don't forget, he shoots the three ball at 42% overall, so can score just about anywhere on the floor.
Second foul on Raekwon Battle. Desi Sills, the Jonesboro, Arkansas native, 2 state titles at Jonesboro High School. Went to the Elite Eight as a member of the Arkansas Razorbacks in 2021. Thousands of movies and TV shows, all for free. On demand and live channels, news, sports, drama, classics, and more. Pluto TV is the ultimate game changer in streaming.
Clearly the correct substitution to put Battle on the bench right now.
He is replaced by Robert Ford III, the transfer from Idaho State. He spent 2 years with the Bengals. Rebound out of bounds. Last touch by Kansas State off the miss by Sills.
It'll be interesting to see how Montana State does with Battle on the bench right now. If they can keep this relatively close, they can leave him on the bench.
Tyke Green is in the game for the first time for Kansas State. Transfer from Stony Brook. Before that, he was at Manhattan.
It would be a big risk to bring Battle back, because you're going to need him fresh and ready to go with 3 fouls to give in that second half.
Battle has scored 13. The rest of the team has put up 10 combined. We are under 6 minutes to go, first half. Fuller goes cross court, jumper Patterson. No good for 3. Rebounded by Johnson. Sills works it ahead for Carter. Sills defended by Patterson out front. Kansas State up by 5.
Little shuffle cut here by Johnson to give him a little isolation again.
One-on-one, he bounces it right to the other team, and Ford pushing the tempo. Brown lines it up. Off the rim, no good. And the rebound ripped down by Sills.
That's going the other way too, Ian. It's a quick offensive foul. Ford steps right in the path, and Sills gets him. Here's the modern day fast break. You pull up, you get that shot, and he closes right there, and that right arm extends a little bit. So doesn't square up initially, but then he gets that right arm up against the upper chest. Good call from the officials.
Ford makes a lot of hustle plays for this Bobcats team. He had an injury last season, left foot injury. It limited him to just 9 games.
Little flare cut on the left. Good slip.
Bello is fouled.
Boy, he gets fouled a lot too.
Bello has emerged as the leader on and off the court for this Montana State squad. Foul on Masood.
And watch him lead with his body. He's not afraid to take a hit, and he has taken plenty of them this season.
50-year senior. Was at Lamar Community College in Colorado before getting his shot with Montana State, and look what he's done. Blocks, rebounds, games played, points, top 6 in all categories. 74% shooter. It'll be Gasson back in, replacing Masood. And another free throw here for JB, Jabril Bello. He broke his leg his first season at Lamar, and at that point he didn't know what his future was. And by his own acknowledgement, he was just sitting in his dorm room trying to visualize what the next step was going to be. So far from home, from London. And eventually, once the rehab began, he got focused on that, ended up having a strong season, which then led to this opportunity in Bozeman. The jumper nearly banked home by Johnson. Offensive rebound for Green.
Good bring out by Green just then.
Under 5 minutes to go. First half. Kansas State up by 5. Noel in a matchup with Ford. Shot clock is down to 6. High screen, Gasson. Noel, no good. Rebounded by Sills, ripped out of there by Ford. And a battle for it. Tie up. Possession arrow, Montana State.
Montana State thought there could have been a foul out front on that play right there behind the driver. And they go up, and then it becomes a free-for-all on the floor going after it. Well, these teams know they're playing in the NCAA tournament, don't they?
This Montana State team led the Big Sky in points allowed, 66.6 per game. First back-to-back 25-win season since the 1920s for the Bobcats program. Had to towel off the ball, and
one of the problems they've had is rebounding the basketball too. And against this tall front line that you have with Kansas State, it could be a problem as we work our way through this game.
you talked about free throws. Bello getting to the line. This team gets to the line. 17.8 free throws made per game. That's second in the country. And so far tonight, they are just 1 of 3.
Yeah, and Kansas State fouls 18 times a game, which is not great defensively.
28-23, Kansas State in front. Fuller spread it now for Brown. The drive wouldn't go. Rebound. Asaboir gets it back out for Brown.
Yeah, they missed him with a size advantage.
Asaboir, that was a dangerous pass, and it's out of bounds. Turnover number 8 for Montana State. Get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament on NCAA.com. Substitution here for Kansas State. Tyke Green sits. He's replaced by Ish Massoud. Inside-outside presence. A couple of New York natives. Now in a different Manhattan. Manhattan, Kansas.
There you go. Very nice.
Here's Johnson. It's at his pace. Step away.
Even a tough shot like that is smooth, isn't it? A little behind the back. You're right about the pace. He owns it.
Johnson is now 5 of 9 from the field. Kansas State up by 5. Penetration. Asaboir goes to work. Puts it off the window. Great Asaboir using the glass.
And he went quickly, too, when he caught it. He knew he was going to be double-teamed, but found a way to float that up against the glass. I think they have to continue to look for him and Bello when he's on the floor to post up.
28-25, Kansas State. Noel showing off the handles. 4 there defensively. 8 to shoot. Noel makes his move. Gives it up. That's tough. Great setup for Gasson with the lay-in.
You know, one of the things about Noel, too, Ian, is that you try to force a guy to his weaker hand. He's very, very good at using his weak hand left and going left, especially all the way towards the basket.
It is his 6th assist. The transfer from Little Rock. Patterson, spin, needs some help.
Off his leg.
Out of bounds. We get a timeout with 2:39 to play first half.
Montana State looking to go into the post to get their action up off the glass. And Kansas State using their point guard to deliver the goods. Side going to his left again along the baseline and finishing on the left side.
He led the Big 12 in field goal percentage, 52%. He was second in the conference in scoring at 17.7 per game. Kansas State looking to add to its lead. Handed off to Noel, 9 to shoot. We come up on 2 minutes to play, first half. High screen, Massoud. Switch. Noel off the dribble. Step back, Jay. Short. And rebounded by Brown.
Is he fast, isn't he?
A blast.
Nice fake.
Patterson misses on a 3-ball. Asaboir with a push underneath. Foul.
I don't think he had to push either. That ball was going to kick long, and he was able to corral it.
Coming up, AT&T at the half. Scores, highlights, the latest NCAA tournament news. It's all coming up. AT&T at the half. Historic upset with FDU knocking off Purdue in the first round. 16 beats to 1 for the second time in tournament history. Noel shifting gears. They have clearly assigned Robert Ford III on Marquise Noel.
Just to keep tracking him as much as possible. It's hard, though, because he can go right and he can go left. Look at this look.
Inside the setup and the finish by Cam Carter.
And that pass was way out on the logo almost when he made that pass. Just directing traffic, very patient.
And this is the largest lead of the night, 32-25. Kansas State, we're down to 1:20 to go, first half.
And trying to survive without Battle on the floor because of his 2 fouls.
Fuller. Give it up for Ford. Thought about the step back. Patterson, 5 to shoot. Ford peeks at the clock. Ford, floater, short. Cleared by Johnson. Noel, head on a swivel, turns the corner, lays it in. Mighty Mouse, Marquise Noel going to the basket.
And that time with a blur going to the right. We've seen him go left, we've seen him go right. How do you guard him? It's hard. You almost have to guess which way he's going to go and hope you guess correctly. Here he sets up his teammate.
52 seconds on the clock. Kansas State has opened up a 9-point lead on Montana State. This is the 3-14 matchup in the East Region, Greensboro, North Carolina. Raekwon Battle picked up 2 fouls, and since that point for Montana State, the offense has been flat.
Yeah, they haven't been getting. Oh, look at that move. Wow.
Dazzling ball handling, and Darius Brown with a major highlight for the Bobcats.
That was flat out spectacular. Watch him go to his right, and now all of a sudden behind his back, crossover, little body bump, and a finish. Just too much to handle for Kansas State.
Basically ambidextrous. He has scored over 1,000 points in his collegiate career. 4 years with the Matadors of Cal State Northridge, and what an addition he's been for the Bobcats. Going down to the floor, Sills saves it for Carter. Timeout called by Jerome Tang with 16.8 on the clock.
This will get Montana State a chance to realize that they have a foul or 2 to give right now if they want to use it.
Darius Brown the second with a fantastic finish. Johnson's been great all first half. Wildcats with the basketball to open up this second half, and Marquise Noel, the tough New York City point guard, lobs it up. The catch. Oh, what a delivery. Naquan Tomlin gets in there for a fantastic finish.
Yeah, what a set, too. That was supposed to go on the right side with the lob, but it was deflected, and he had to regroup and make something out of nothing on that play.
Here's Battle, played with those 2 fouls. They took him out. Battle was scoring with ease, and the jumper is wet. That's a long 2-pointer for Raekwon Battle.
Well, if you managed his minutes in the first half because of the foul trouble, you have to let him run wild if he can here in the second.
He's got 15 of Montana State's 30 points. Noel, swing. Carter, the drive and kick. Tomlin will try it. Over the backboard, out of bounds.
So there's that deflection just a little bit, or that would have been sensational, but a beautiful finish to regroup. And here he drives you 1 foot back. It's an interesting shot. It's like old-fashioned where he brings it up way over his head to get it off.
High release point, tough to block.
Nice ball fake.
Battle, he's feeling it.
This might be a fun half if he continues to do this.
Raekwon Battle, very comfortable from the perimeter. He can also sky at the rim. He's got 17 points.
He's had 11 games with 20-plus, double figures in 18 consecutive.
Ford getting the start in this second half in the backcourt with Brown. Shot clock is down to 6. Noel will hoist from anywhere. This time he drives. He understands angles. Marquise Noel on a banker.
Boy, it's nice to have that quickness, too, to get around people. He comes back with a little smile on his face.
12 points, 8 assists. He is a dynamo out there.
So is this guy. Oh,
it's foul called.
Yep.
Ford was trying to create some space on that handoff to Raekwon Battle.
So this is unfair. You get a big guy trying to size you up and bellow outside. And then here's that pull-up. Watch how high he shoots the release point.
Check in with Evan.
Spoke with Danny Sprinkle, Montana State. 10 turnovers in that first half, and he said we have to be stronger with the ball, especially in the post. They want to establish Jabril Bello. He only had 0 points in that first half, and he challenged him. And guys, the other theme from both sides, the conditions in this building. Both acknowledge that the climate, the humidity, the heat, it's affecting them. Something to keep an eye on.
Now, it's been hot in here. There's no denying that. And basically from the first game on, and when the building got very crowded for that Kentucky game, you could feel the heat go up a notch.
You remember Norm from Cheers?
Yeah.
That was me.
You're going to keep that jacket on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Desi Sills picks up his 3rd foul and heads to the bench for Kansas State. Go deep here for Battle. One-on-one with Johnson. Wow. Battle off the rim. Rebounded by Carter for K-State.
Nice pass.
Get it ahead, Masood. And now it's Johnson settling in, defended by Fuller. Johnson one-on-one. That's tough. How are you going to stop it? Deontay Johnson.
You're not, because he's a right-handed player. He's just as good going to his left. And one of the things about him going to the left, he's powerful when he gets in the air.
He is 6 of 11 from the field, 12 points for the Norfolk, Virginia native. Fuller looking to keep the ball moving. Kick. Wide open look for Brown. Rims out. Rebounded by Tomlin. Tomlin, multifaceted. Didn't play high school basketball. Shows the ball. Spins and scores. Naquan Tomlin has got some skills.
He was thinking of going to Johnson with the basketball to the corner, and Johnson waved him off. Don't give it to me, you take it. And he made a beautiful move out of it. Unselfish play with Kansas State coming out in a good start.
Tomlin's got a natural feel.
Great elevation and high release.
Can they get Bello involved offensively? No. Not on this possession. Darius Brown turns it over, but then Ford steps in for the steal. Brown on the run. Fake the pass and lay it in. That was nifty from Darius Brown II.
And a terrific decision, too.
Tomlin walking the tightrope. Brown now has 6. A reload here for Tomlin.
He's good with the basketball, isn't he?
Tomlin creates for himself. He transferred from Chipola College in Florida. 1 year there. He was at Monroe Community College in Rochester prior to that, and it's just untapped potential for Tomlin. Swing it for Battle. Drop it inside. Bello didn't see the defender, and a foul on Tomlin.
Pretty good effort there by Tomlin to come across for that lob to the post. But he's just a split second too late, and that's because of the hit there with Bello.
3rd foul on Tomlin. We get a timeout. 15:25 to play in regulation here from Greensboro. Trying to get involved in the action.
And the other thing with his game, Ian, when he catches it on the blocks, he gets to the free throw line a lot.
Battle overcooked it. Ball gets knocked out of bounds, so Montana State will retain with 15:21 on the clock. 20 seconds to shoot. Darius Brown II will toss it in. They were looking for Bello. He got locked up on the inside by Johnson. Brown trapped on the baseline. Feeds it. Bello drive and floater. He's in the box score. Jabril Bello.
I take a shot at posting him up once or twice next couple of trips down the floor just to see if he can get some rhythm to his game.
Sills and Tomlin each with 3 fouls for Kansas State.
Kansas State is, remember, pretty tall and lean and lengthy on the front line.
Noel is battling right now with Ford. Drive, dish, block. Assoboir with the rejection. Dump it down low. Kick. Jumper. Ford. Off the rim. Rebound. Out of bounds off of Kansas State.
So you get ready to defend here. Quick recovery. And then Bello at the other end, finally getting something to go. A big stride. Thought he was going to try to dunk that at first, and then just floated it in.
Igiola will check in, replacing Gasson. And he's joined by Masood for Kansas State. Outside Brown. Watched by Carter. Switch.
And they got Bello with a mismatch.
Jumper,
too.
forward, front rim. Long rebound controlled by Battle. So another reload here for Montana State. They are 2 of 11 from three-point territory. Osobor bumping bodies. Drop step. He got clogged up on the baseline. Brown, 6 to shoot.
Nice
Denial
hand.
there by Igiola. And a run out by Johnson for 2.
He has great anticipation. Johnson understands when to go, when to help out.
14 for Keontae Johnson. 10-point lead for Kansas State. Under 14 minutes to play.
And Montana State was trying to force feed the post. If they can keep Bello catching the ball out this far, they're in good shape, Kansas State.
Brown lets it fly. Off. Rebound. Johnson grabs it on the second effort. Loops it ahead for Carter. Carter attack mode. He's fouled. 2 free throws coming up for the sophomore Cam Carter.
And sometimes if you just anticipate where the ball's going in, gets a hand on it. And look at Johnson just getting to half court in a hurry. Splitting 2 defenders on the transition bucket.
Second foul on Jabril Bello. Carter shoots it at 72%. Played for Steve Smith at Oak Hill, who retired last March. Best Coke ever? Only one way to find out. Take a taste. The team is just 1 of 4 at the free throw line. Kansas State can take an 11-point lead here. One of 7 Big 12 teams to make the NCAA tournament. And now Carter will sit, replaced by Desi Sills. They finished 3rd in the Big 12. Kansas #1, Texas #2.
Pretty good company, isn't it?
They had 3 straight losing seasons before this year's breakthrough with Jerome Tang leading the program. One of the biggest surprises in college basketball this season. Bello trying to use his body. Here's Battle.
Oh, this is a defensive effort in the half court right now.
Patterson off. Karams out of bounds right to Danny Sprinkle. And frustration is now growing here for Montana State on the offensive end.
Yeah, and even Battle is having trouble when he's on the floor now to try to get some action at the offensive end. A little bit of a clamp down by Kansas State.
Igiola has come in and provided quality minutes defensively.
Nice double team there.
And they get a tie-up. Montana State's going to take over. Johnson was trying to fight through it.
Yeah, Battle started that play one-on-one defense, and then he gets helped out here as he turns his back on him, and Bello comes in for that double team. So very nice work against a terrific scorer in Johnson.
On the floor, Brown, Bello, Battle, Patterson, and Osobor against Noel, Johnson, Sills, Gasson, and Masood for Kansas State. Ball fake. Patterson. Work it to the interior. Osobor. He tried to hit his teammate Bello underneath and was knocked out of bounds with 12 to shoot.
And Sills' defensive effort just then. Weak side stepping into the middle of the lane.
The last Big Sky NCAA tournament win was 2006. Number 12 Montana over number 5 Nevada. Brown looks for the open man. He'll go long. Caught by Patterson. Inside. Bello. Jump hook? No. Rebounded by Noel. Swing it. Open look. Sills. Off the rim, no good. Cleared by Osobor. Brown looking for an opening. It closed up quickly because of Igiola.
Yeah, I think they have to pick the pace up like they're going right now a little bit. Nice crossover.
Battle.
Oof.
And through the hands of Osobor. Nothing is working right now on the offensive end for Montana State. They are 2 of 14 from three-point territory. And they're down 11 to Kansas.
Back into game shape when he joined the program in August. Spoke to him yesterday, and it started from the ground floor, guys. I mean, Keontae hadn't sprinted in 2 years, but he quickly got into game shape, and he's as explosive and as strong as an outside linebacker at a top 5 program, according to Bayer, in terms of that strength. His ability to get from the bottom to where he is now, impressive.
Oh, you can see it out on the court.
It's a great story, too. Yeah, you can see the strength in action. I always look at guys when they're in the air trying to finish plays at the rim. He stays strong in the air.
They get a switch out front. Brown against Masood. Shot clock is down to 5. Battle. Couple of dribbles. They lock him down, and Battle with an air ball. Shot clock violation. Empty trip. 13th turnover by Montana State.
Yeah, they've locked Battle down on that possession just then, but doing a good job of really recognizing their sets. Well scouted in a short period of time. There he is.
Johnson open look.
Doesn't miss that too often.
A hold underneath. Igiola was grabbed, and it's a foul against Montana State at the 10:57 mark of the second half. Kentucky already in the second round. They knock off Providence in the 6-11 matchup, and now they just await the winner of this one, Kansas State and Montana State, for a Sunday meeting to move on to the Sweet 16.
Oh, nice move.
By himself, Desi Sills, and it's Keontae Johnson with the assist.
Goes around the stationary screen on the left side, just runs a circle.
Kansas State was picked to finish last in the Big 12 preseason poll. That's another miss for Montana State. And the lead has ballooned to 13. Noel behind the back and could not connect with Igiola. Noel upsetted himself.
Here comes the circle. Just bring it right around and you get lost defensively. Pretty good execution so far in the first 10 minutes or so of this half.
Nick Gonzalez is in. Montana State just looking for something right now offensively. Brown has a high screen from Bello. Asaboir. One-on-one with Tomlin. Asaboir using his strength. Down low. Bello is fouled. Free throws coming up for Jabril Bello.
That's what usually happens if he doesn't put the ball in the basket. He goes to the line. Watch the strength. He just throws his body up at the rim all the time and ends up getting many free throw attempts. But it's been an off night. 2 points, 1 for 2 from the floor, and 0 for 2 from the free throw line.
Bello shoots it at 74%. And even that's not working. Substitution here. Cam Carter in. He replaces Igiola.
Going with the smaller lineup again, Kansas State. Try to spread the floor a little bit. Make sure they get good opportunities going to the basket in terms of the drive and be able to isolate their 2 stars who've been playing very well. 1
out of 2 for Bello. Montana State riding an 8-game winning streak coming into the NCAA tournament. They've won 13 of their last 14. They had 1 game against a top 25 team this year. It was Arizona. They lost 85-64 in December. Battle is a blur.
And they put the smaller lineup in to handle the basketball for Kansas State. And a nice switch up with a 1-3-1 extended here by Montana State. Noel just got a little careless with that last trip coming down the floor.
Spread it. Look for the open man, Carter.
Bounce. Bello pushing him out of bounds.
Fouled on the baseline. Number 3 on Bello.
There's that deflection and off they go. The push. And Battle with the finish.
That is team foul number 4 for Montana State. Kansas State in front by 10. Cam Carter gets it in. Johnson in a crowd, partially blocked. Johnson sticks with it. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Carter slashing to the rim. Cam Carter, good all-around abilities from Donaldsville, Louisiana.
And pretty good effort this evening in this game, too, when they need him.
The lead is 12. Assaboir, drop step. That's nice. Blocking foul. He's going to the free throw line at the 9:07 mark.
So Cam Carter getting active, going to the basket. Kind of a little bit of a flip, running away from the hoop. And just when they need a bucket, you get a little run out of Montana State for a couple of minutes here. This game's not put away. There's plenty of time left.
First foul on Marquise Noel. Free throws here for Assaboir, 67% shooter.
Doesn't help the cause, though.
Team came in shooting 76% at the free throw line. And here is Sam Lecolot once again replacing Bello, who has just not found a rhythm tonight against his Kansas State front line. 1 out of 2. They are now 4 of 10 from the stripe. Wildcats up by 11. We hit 9 minutes to play in regulation. Once again showing pressure.
Yep, the 1-3-1 looking for a trap right in front of us.
And Sills goes down hard. Battle thought he got his hands on it for a tie-up. And the official, Chad Barlow, did not see it that way. It's Lecolot called on the foul.
That's a tough one to go against Montana State. Where's the foul?
It was Sills falling backwards.
Yeah, pretty good effort defensively with the 1-3-1 defense. Watch the baseline will open up generally.
Battle gets his hands on it, takes it away. 3-on-2 developing. Lecolot just tossed it, and he was lucky that his teammate was there. Back in, Assaboir. Foul called, 8:37 to go.
And Noel on the floor just then before he got into his move.
That's number 2 on Noel. Team foul number 5 for Kansas State.
And the same for Montana State, 5.
Toss it in. Assaboir.
Wow.
The jumper in and out for Brown. Battle out of bounds. Last touch by Johnson of Kansas State. Hey, after all the games are over, Ernie Johnson, Jay Wright, Candace Parker, Seth Davis, they've got the highlights, analysis inside March Madness, presented by Buick. That's later tonight, only on True TV. 3-pointers this half. Montana State is 0 of 8. Carter sits. Gasson back in. The jumper goes. Gonzalez rings the bell on a 3-ball.
Well, when he came in, he was kind of warming up, rotating his shoulders a little bit, waiting for his opportunity.
He spent 1 year at Jacksonville College, a JUCO in Texas.
But 1-3-1's giving him a little problem.
Noel, the answer. It's a triple.
There's one way to beat it when you run into trouble. Extend your shot. That was a tough one to take if you're Montana State, too, because they've been getting some mileage out of that 1-3-1 defense.
Brown loops it inside, off the hands of Assaboir.
And Noel is down. I think that's him. It's a good look to the corner to get 3 for Montana State.
FTU second round matchup in the NCAA tournament. Considering what happened this season in college basketball,
Anything is possible.
Yeah,
anything is possible.
would not be a shock by any stretch, as Noel took a shot to the face here from Assaboir.
And watch the arm come down right there and catches him.
And the officials determined there was no foul. There was nothing beyond a play on, inadvertent.
Yep, inadvertent for sure.
And Noel remains in there. Tough. The leader, floor general for this squad. We've seen his unlimited range on display and his creativity. Noel, no look. Catch underneath. Tomlin. That's another setup from Marquise Noel. the Wildcats' all-time single-season assist leader. His 10th dish.
Pretty look.
Inside for the big finish. Asoboir.
Yeah, good look by Brown just then on the other side of the floor. So the guards are doing their thing. A lot of lob passes against this 1-3-1.
But Kansas State keeping Montana State at arm's length here, up by 11. And now playing keep away. Gasson, 10 to shoot, under 7 minutes to play. Noel, swing. Getting to the rim, Desi Sills. And that was easy.
You look for a seam against a 1-3-1, and boy, that was easier than easy.
Battle missed it with a left hand, but he was fouled underneath by Sills.
Just turns the motors up right here. He's waiting for somebody to get in his way, and nobody decides to even put a body close to him.
It's the 4th foul on Sills. Consummate team player. He's got a big-time vertical. Watching some of the Big 12 tournament, he went up really high for a block shot. Kansas State lost to TCU in the Big 12 quarterfinals, 80-67. But still seeded 3rd in the East region because of the totality of their season.
He had 4 blocks in that game that you just referenced, too. For a guy who's 6'2", not a bad job defensively.
Another free throw here for Raekwon Battle, 84% shooter. Excellent form. And Montana State trails Kansas State 58-47. We're down to 6:37 to play in the second half. Battle has 21.
Trying to get a turnover out of this 1-3-1.
Noel,
look at this.
Logo off the rim. Rebounded by Bello.
A late logo.
Brown. And that ball was tipped by Kansas State out of bounds.
I'm not so sure that's how they want to attack the 1-3-1. 35-footer.
Noel is 6 of 10 from the field, 3 out of 5 from three-point territory. Sills checks back in. And I think that's exactly what Jerome Tang is saying to Marquise Noel.
Can you get a little closer?
Asoboir. Working around the perimeter. Open look. Brown. Bottom. A 3. 8-point game.
Yeah, still showing some life. They're going to stick with this 1-3-1. It's been working.
Johnson swing it for Sills. Under 6 minutes to play. Johnson loses the ball because there was a foul.
And I like that effort better by Kansas State just than I am from the standpoint. They were kind of like lazy with their passes back and forth, not going anywhere with it. And then they get it in the middle and let him go to work, and guys are reaching and try to slow him down.
There was a chop by Asoboir. That is his 3rd. Free throws here for Keontae Johnson. His first free throw of the night as we check in with Evan.
Well, guys, we saw that 35-footer for Noel, and it got me thinking of something Tang told us yesterday. There's no bad shots on game day. He's all about positivity, and you saw that moment where he comes to the sideline. He feels like if he's constantly letting guys know everything's going to be all right, they can fix it in practice.
11 assists on the night tonight.
Noel currently on the bench. Kansas State up by 10 with 5:38 on the clock. Second half. Asoboir hands it to Brown. Shot clock is down to 10. Switch. Brown looking to the inside. Bounce it for Bello. Turns. Left hand. It goes. He forced that one in.
Yeah, but that's his game, though. Catch it and go. And it was a quick decision on his part. Read the defender. Wow.
Turnover. Carter went cross court for Sills. Out of bounds.
You know, and all it takes really is 1 or 2 things defensively or offensively as you look at him in the post and throws a line drive almost at the basket. He catches a friendly rim.
And Noel is back in for Kansas State at the 5:15 mark.
You get one shot to drop right now, and the momentum shifts. It becomes a little bit more fun for Montana State fans.
8-point game. Asoboir to Brown. The drive, the dish. Bello. Oh, he blows the layup.
beautiful pass, too, to set him up.
Kansas State maintains an 8-point lead with under 5 minutes to play.
They shift back to a man-to-man right now. You'll probably see them switch another couple of times.
Tried to hand it off to Johnson. 10 to shoot. Now it's Sills for Noel. Shot clock down to 6. Noel trying to make it happen. Noel the drive. He banks it home. Marquise Noel is special.
Yeah, that's just understanding the clock situation, too, in terms of how fast he could get to the basket.
Lob and slam. Asabwar with the hammer.
I think if this pace picks up a little bit, it tilts to Montana State's favor, obviously.
62-54. Asabwar with 11 points.
And here's the switch again to the 1-3-1. Last time down man-to-man, this time 1-3-1, changing it up.
Tomlin gets it back into the hands of Noel. We are under 4 minutes to go.
They're working the clock, so that's a problem for Montana State unless they can get a stop.
Johnson jumper. Book it.
Yeah, they're answering when they need to. They're working the clock perfectly if you're Kansas State.
And the lead is back up to 10 with 3:38 to play in regulation.
Nice screen out front by Bello.
The switch, Brown, swing. Ball fake, one dribble and a J. Brown, short. Long rebound, tracked down by Asabwar. Toss it out for Battle. Battle drives in, he's fouled. 3:22 to go. Free throws coming for Raekwon Battle of Montana State.
So here's Noel. He's not afraid to challenge anybody going to the hole. Good timing with the shot.
From Harlem in New York City. Attended St. Patrick's in New Jersey. Also played at Bishop Laughlin with the Champagny brothers from St. John's and Pitt. Free throws here for Battle. In addition to being a part of first team All Big 12, he was also All Defensive Team in the conference. Noel averages 2.5 steals per game. Kansas State's lead is 8. The trust that Jerome Tang has in Noel and Sills in the backcourt. And Keontae Johnson making the right plays for the Wildcats.
Yeah, finding a seam. He's right at the left elbow.
Get it inside. Tomlin gets it to go, and a foul. Naquan Tomlin a chance at a three-point play and can bring this lead to 11.
It's generally the baseline that gives you trouble against a 1-3-1, especially with that matchup with Tomlin with 6'5". Just not fair with that lob coming in against somebody who's 6'4".
10 points for Tomlin. 75% shooter, his first attempt at the line tonight. 3:03 to go here in the second half. And Tomlin has to give the ball back because Jerome Tang is in the middle of a conversation with Gregory Nixon, the official. Tomlin converts. 67-56. Wildcats, 3 minutes to play. Brown on a handoff, Gonzalez. Now they get Battle.
And all to get him into the flow of things, but they shut him down.
Good defense there from Carter. Here's Brown. Lines it up. Ooh, bullseye. A three. Timeout called by Danny Sprinkle. That cuts it to 8 with 2:44 on the clock. More to come. Second half in Greensboro. Spot in the second round at 59 over Montana State. 3-14 matchup in the East region.
I think Montana State is thinking if we could just get one stop right now, might just give them a little punch coming down the stretch.
Noel.
Luck.
Wow! That's a man's jam. Naquan Tomlin nearly rips down the rim.
And the baseline again is their friend against the 1-3-1.
Just over 2 minutes to play. The lead is 10. Turnover. Gasson. He lays it in, and a foul.
Intentional also. Good hands right there, and the big guy. Look at that push out. 2 good dribbles there to get the ball in front of him, and he finishes it.
Darius Brown tried with the push initially and then held Gasson across the arm and
didn't make a play for the ball, though.
Yep, he was just trying to grab his body. So bucket count 71-59. No, not going to count the basket. Gasson at the free throw line. And the intentional foul works against Brown. Gasson will get another one with nobody along the paint. So it's just by yourself in a gym. Gasson shoots it at 47% of the free throw line. And he just made two
all by himself.
Look really comfortable. Naquan Tomlin. Wow.
That is a crank. Oh, man. And that's the basket they had to bring the level out earlier in the evening.
Kansas State maintains possession after the intentional foul, and it's easy for Gasson. And this might be a good night.
2 sets right there for Kansas State. Nullifying any thoughts.
Brown to the corner. Gonzalez can't hit the three. Long rebound. Leak out. Sills. Oh! Whoa. Major elevation for Desi Sills. And Kansas State has put this one away. Battle answers with a three. But K-State is up by 13 with 1:38 on the clock. They continue to punch it on offense whenever necessary. Sills takes the air out of the ball. Tomlin for Johnson, back out, 7 to shoot. Sills makes his move. Noel's got the big. Looks at the clock. Short on the jump shot, rebounded by Gonzalez. Just over a minute to play. Battle is fouled on a three-point attempt. That is the last thing you wanted to do if you were Kansas State, to stop the clock and give Battle 3 attempts at the line.
As you touched on with Sills, he can get off the floor and quickly with some power going to the basket. Oof. I think when you go up against someone like that, you don't recognize how good they are and how quick they are going to the basket. It can be embarrassing a little bit.
Are you speaking from experience?
Oh, yeah.
I felt your pain there. Battle has 26. That's his first miss of the free throw line. Now 5 out of 6.
Gets another.
And a third one coming for Raekwon Battle. Everybody thought it was 2 free throws. Sixth man of the year in the Big Sky last season. Starting role this year, and he's provided major numbers. As Massoud checks back in for Kansas State, they lead by 12. Just over a minute left.
1 minute remaining.
Montana State not looking to foul. Wildcats are just keeping the ball away. Noel. That's a kick. Wasn't called. Noel goes back to get it. Shot clock is down to 10.
Here he goes.
Noel, drive.
Nice
No
stop.
look. Massoud, Banker, no, but a foul. That New York connection. Noel and Massoud. And now free throws for Ish Massoud. 39.2 on the clock.
These guys just know that he's going to deliver the ball at the right time if they keep moving. His decisions have been terrific this evening. He's up to 14 assists.
Yes. Came in averaging 7.6 per game. So that number is going to rise. Noel headed to the bench. 17 points to go along with those 14 dishes. Also 6 rebounds.
Nate Aubrey checks in for the first time tonight. He wears number 21.
And now substitutions. Aubrey into the game with 39.2. Masood adds to the Kansas State lead, and now Danny Sprinkle is going to sprinkle some of his walk-ons into the game.
Chad Miller checks in, number 24 for Montana State. And Carter Ash is in for Bobcats.
Now, this is always nice, even though you know you're not going to win the game, but you get a chance to play in an NCAA tournament.
Game. Yep, absolutely. Classy thing to do.
Carter Ash in, Jed Miller, Alex Germer, all from Montana State. Final 35 seconds. Miller, the banker is good.
Good to see.
And now the final moments here for Kansas State.
And they will just sit on the ball.
Shot clock is turned off. Last time Kansas State won an NCAA tournament game was 2018. The Wildcats program is back on track. It's on to the second round for Kansas State. The number 3 seed in the East advances in Greensboro. 77-65. The final. Jerome Tang, the turnaround in Manhattan, Kansas. Big 12 Coach of the Year. This group had confidence. They've got senior leadership with the likes of Noel and Johnson and Sills. And up next, it's a showdown with Kentucky. The Wildcats against the Wildcats on Sunday. 18 points for Johnson. Noel, 17 points, 14 assists. Tomlin chips in with 13. And let's send it over to Evan Washburn.
Here with Marquise Noel, 17 points, 14 assists in this game. How are you able to command things offensively?
Man, I got to give credit to my teammates and credit to God, man, for giving me this opportunity, this platform to showcase my skills. But my teammates did a hell of a job getting open, and that created space, and that created bubbles for me to score.
Do you have any limit on your range? We saw you taking shots from about 35 feet.
Nah, there's no limit on his range. No limit on his gun out there, man.
Sunday, a matchup with Kentucky. What comes to mind when you think of that?
Kill him. I mean, it's as simple as that. Kill them. I mean, they're another team in our way, and we're trying to advance to the next round. We know they're a really good team with a really good coach, but they're in our way, and we got to get it done.
It's fun to watch, Marquise. Congrats. Enjoy it.
Appreciate you, man.